clean. I'm telling you, man.
All right, 1, 2, 3. We're live Saturday morning. We're chilling. I'm not sure how many people are in today because I went and made this unlisted somehow, and I thought I changed it, but I didn't. And it might take us a little while to build up a bit of an audience. But we've got Chris in Virginia. We got Humble Stacker. So let's see. Chris says busy this AM, but wanted to catch the beginning if possible. And you are here, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Humble. So, gentlemen, we got Mishy Stacker on the bottom, and we got Silver State on the upper right, and then, of course, I'm on the upper left.
Mishy, you threw me off when I looked at the screen there. I see my coaster right there in the middle with. I'm like, where did I get all that constitutional? I'm like, oh, that's Mishy. You're awesome.
Well, you know what? Usually, what I do is when I'm on with somebody, if I got a poker chip or something for them, I'll throw it in there because I got blue collar right here. So, and because they've kind of become my new crack dealer for my collectible copper, made sure I got Jane in over here too. So,
well, that's a very sexy spread of constitutional silver around all the channel swag. I love it.
Yeah, I was working this morning. I got home about 9:30 and didn't have really much time, so I just pulled out a couple of things and popped them up. But you guys are cooler than me. You got better stuff. I have so much swag in bags and boxes. I gotta get to it, man. I am so far behind sending stuff out. You have no idea.
And I had to get a couple of these to remind myself to watch my mouth when I'm on here too. So. These are great.
Listen, there's no censors on this show.
Yeah, but I still try to keep it clean.
Yeah, we all do, But so
what's going on, Humble Stacker? He just shouted out, paying in the house.
Yeah, you want to call it out? You're good at that. My eyes are terrible, as we were talking about behind stage. I'm in a slow process of going blind, I think.
Well, I mean, right now, let me switch this. This says top. Let me go to live. Let's see. Get my screen right here. Okay, so we got the Humble Stacker in the house. We've got Chris in Virginia in the house. That's all I'm seeing that's called out in the chat. So, we got Pang. I see Pang stockpiles here. So Pang is in the house.
Yep. Yeah, it says we got 7, but hey, if you just want to sit back there and sit on your hands and not comment, that's up to you.
Make sure you hit the like button, though. Get this out there.
Yeah, at least, right? I'm gonna do that myself. I'll like this myself. What the hell?
Man, you got that nice gold spread up there. You want to tell us a little bit about the gold choices today? What's going on with that?
Well, I had it all in one place, and it was the easiest thing to grab and just throw up there, to be honest. No significance, just American gold with the exception of the little baby Philharmonic back there.
That you just picked that up, huh?
Yeah, that's a 125th. I love those little Phillies, man.
You know what? I like them. I like the silver pieces. I like them all. I kind of like the fact that it's the smooth edge on it. You know what I mean? It's not reeded on the side. Makes it kind of unique, I think.
Yeah, in a slab, though, you lose that. That's what kind of sucks about that. Anything with edge lettering or any kind of fancy edge or even a smooth edge like that, you lose it in a slab,
Oh, yeah.
But, honestly, when I bought that, I was a little loud, right? When I bought that, my thought process, because it's an ICG, no offense to ICG, but I wanted to bust that out and put it in my poucho. It is a 70 though, so maybe I'll leave it.
Yeah, I think you should probably leave it if it's a 70. I don't know.
Yeah.
You thinking about sending anything else out to get graded, a buffalo or anything?
Nah, the Buffalo's got a little copper spot, and I don't know how that happened on a 4.9s piece, but I guess it could have a little fleck of copper in there. I don't know, but I think it's just on the bottom of the Buffalo. Let me look at it. It's like a little spot. I don't know if you can see it, but on the bottom there. So I don't think it'll get a 70 by any means. So to me, if it's not going to be a 70, just don't bother.
Yeah, no worries.
So what's up, Mishy? What's been new in your world?
Nothing. Just waiting for surgery day, and having to remind myself I'm supposed to be sitting on my butt not doing anything. So we went out and actually didn't buy anything, but hung out for a little while with my LCS. They're a great group of guys and gals out there. So just did some window shopping. Waiting for the political pay issues to straighten out at work. So because when you go out on medical, they make you wait 4 weeks for your first check. So
yeah. Well, no, they couldn't possibly make it easy on you, right?
No, well, it used to be if you went out on medical, all the paperwork and everything was handled for you. But now, since we merged with another health system, it's our responsibility to do their job for them.
Mm-hmm.
And going and getting the you have to print out this paperwork and take it to your doctor and have them fill it out, and then if your doctor submits it, they never get it. But if you submit it, they get it. And I submitted the paperwork last week, and they waited until Tuesday to approve it. So I've got to wait. Yesterday was payday. I got to wait until next payday before I get a check from them. Plus, I have the hospital indemnity insurance. So I've kind of like Aflac, but not Aflac. And that takes 7 to 14 business days for them just to review it before they send you a check. So I'm window shopping for the moment.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, everything goes well and you'll get
well, they're saying
figuratively and literally back on your feet.
Yeah. They're saying I'll be back to work end of September, first part of October. So
just when the weather starts changing.
Hey, I'm good with it.
Yeah. I hear that, man.
I can stay in the AC for
the
meantime, because it's supposed to be 90 something here tomorrow, and we're not, us Michiganders aren't cut out for that stuff. So
no. So we got Silver Serpents in the house. We got Humble, of course. We got Matt Wingate. What's up, Cartier? We got ASE guys in here. What else? We got I think that's pretty much caught up. Everybody else.
Matt Wingate, I don't know if you said Serpents. I saw popped in here. We had I thought I saw a few people. I've been trying to call people out in the West Texas popped in is here.
Did we mention Cartier Silverado?
Silverado.
Yep, we did. We did mention Cartier Silver. He is in there. Who else?
How was that Serpents? How was that the Joseph's Reserve? I saw he was doing a live when we were getting up this morning, getting this thing going.
Yeah, I did see that, but I couldn't listen to it. I had people with me this morning, so I had to kind of make believe I was paying attention to the road. So got to make it look good at least. If I got a live stream on and an earpiece in, got to pay attention to the road. Okay. Serpent said it was good. First time catching one of his streams. I watched a couple of his videos. He's got a pretty good delivery, man. He's smooth. He's growing fast. I think he's going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Speaking of growing fast, Dub C's up to 12,600 something, I think. Nice. Dub C is. Oh, yeah. And Dub C, I got a bone to pick with him. He put a Rush song in one of his shorts last night. I happened to see it, and I was up for like an hour jamming Rush after that.
Oh my god.
Kept me awake half the friggin' night. I was like, he got my juices flowing.
Which one was it?
He did vital signs on a gold video. He had probably 20 ounces of gold in the video,
Oh my
but I didn't care about that. I played it 3 times just to hear the song.
So I don't know if you guys checked out his live yesterday, but he pulled out the Lydian horde again and was kind of going
Yep.
over that, talking about the history. And I mean, the guy's knowledge is just I don't know anybody. But listen, who's going to argue with me with the fact that he has a horde? Like there is the he has a horde. I mean, that's his horde. He's like, that's he has a massive horde. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he shows a lot of stuff. Whenever anybody asks for anything, he doesn't have one. He's got a roll of 5 pesos. You know what I mean? And God knows how big his stack is, but I got to be honest, dude.
That's what I'm
Daddy,
talking about, Serpents. The Dub C horde. I mean,
Stack Daddy, though, is the Stack Daddy.
That's the Stack Daddy. I got to check him out.
That's a perfect name for that.
Dub C, like the classification of a hoarder is when you buy hordes yourself. Like he doesn't just like have a horde; he buys other hordes. That's the classification of a horde.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, though, I think he said that he actually gave the horde that name, the Lydian horde.
Okay. So there's no like actual. That's just what he calls it because of that era or whatever stack.
Yeah, he explained it. He explained it, but it went over my head. Sorry, dude. You there? Did we lose Silver State?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I kind of talked over you there. My bad. Yeah, Stack.
All good, man.
Stack Daddy said his goal is 25,000 ounces silver now. He's already over 20,000. So, and the guy buys more silver than what's his name, Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, so there will be the Dub C, and there's also the Stack Daddy horde, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Stack Daddy. You know how like we fill up tubes. He fills up 5-gallon water jugs with 1 ounce rounds.
Dang.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. He's nuts. But he is the Stack Daddy. He's got to live up to that name.
Gosh, I couldn't even imagine that much. I got to check out Stack Daddy's. Now, does he?
I can't. You never seen him? He's kind of like a cross between the Kansas Kid, because he says, "Hey, guys." He's always saying the word "guys," and I'm trying to think of who else, and maybe Dub C. He's but he's a straight stacker. There is no like
numismatic,
no premiums in his purchases. He buys from a wholesaler, no premium.
Dang.
Or very little anyway.
I need that hookup.
Yeah,
if you're a wholesaler out there, go ahead and drop your contact information down below so we can get in touch with you. We need you.
Yeah. Now, but he's got somebody that's feeding him some stuff. I'll tell you that. He goes to the dude's house and picks it up out of his barbecue. And I can figure out what the address was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Pajama Stacking says stack. What does that say? Stack
Nation.
Stack Nation. Yeah.
Is that what he says?
Yeah. What's up, Stack Daddy here? Stack Nation. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, Average Jane wanted to know what that cool book is in the background.
Oh yeah, what is that book?
Oh,
hold
man.
on. Let me make myself big here so I could show you that book. That book is Fortress Stacking by none other than the Silver State Stacker. Heck yeah. Available on Amazon
right now. If you guys, so the purpose of this book, y'all, it's I know both of you, Mishi and Blue Collar Stacker. You got my original Fortress Stacking book that I had kind of. It's kind of the start of me putting the framework together back then, and this is the evolution of what it's become. I mean, it's a full-on philosophy and theory. It's updated from that version. This has worksheets. The idea of this is, I've done a lot of financial financial classes, I guess, if you will, or programs or whatever, and it's kind of taking all of that and applying it in a precious metals base, because there's really nothing out there for precious metal stackers to give them any kind of a structure or anything. We just kind of have to hang out in the community and pick up kind of what we get from this person and that person, and what we've learned passed down from other stackers, and what we hear, right? We just learn without, through the community, and pick up where we can. So this whole idea here would be great for any kind of a new stacker, even for seasoned stackers, because what I did is it's all based off of this 7-stone tier system, which are basically, my idea is just a creative way to frame out like you're building a fortress, and these are the 7 stones to build out the fortress, right? So you got your step 1, which is basically going to sit down and again, there's worksheets to guide you through this, and principles, but figure out your budget, man. If you don't know what's coming into the fortress, if you don't know, how much money you're making, and then how much money leaves every month, then you really don't know what your goals are or what everything. So it's a whole financial wealth with precious metals system. I don't think that there's anything out there like it. I think it's creative. It kind of starts off with a metaphorical scene, from what I remember as a kid, kind of to paint this image of the circus. I remember going to the circus the first time as a kid. It was magical, but when you learn and you grow up and you realize that it's all just a show, it's all fake, it's not real. It's a job, it's for money, it's an economy, and look out into the world and you see that, especially in the metals, you see all the jesters out there pumping silver every day. Bro, look in the last week, how many times has silver, getting ready to shoot up the big dip, and then it dips. I mean, if you're buying all these dips and you're not loaded with money, I mean, you don't got no more dip money. You've been buying the dips for the past 3 months. So this takes all of that out, takes all the emotion out, it strips it out, and it gives you a structural, at least a foundation to go off of. And I think it's pretty cool. If you're a stacker, I think it's really cool. Now, what I've done is, like, I go over the foundation in here and I briefly talk about stuff like the gold to silver ratio, right? So this, I've got other books, which is the gold to silver ratio playbook, which is basically 220 pages of gold to silver ratio strategies. I built out an app that tracks premiums and gives you a realistic gold to silver ratio trade. I did it, I use it, and when I go to my local dealer, I mean, I'm within, we're talking about on the silver swap to gold, I'm within about an ounce of what the actual dealer, I mean, it's going to vary based off the dealer and who you go to, but what I'm saying is the app and the algorithms are pretty solid. So there's a gold to silver ratio book, everything you want to know about a gold to silver ratio strategy playbook right there. Now, I do talk about goldbacks in here, but there's only about 2 paragraphs talking about goldbacks. It's an option, and it's for later in your steps. This is not recommended for any new stacker or anything like that. And it's briefly mentioned in the Fortress Stacking book. And so it talks about it because we need to be aware of it, what it is. People need to know that there are goldbacks out there, but it doesn't really go into depth about it. because my thought and the way that I use Goldbacks is more of an investment type of a stock strategy kind of a thing. So I just briefly talk about Goldbacks in here. So if you want to know more about Goldbacks and what I do and how I use Goldbacks, 180 pages right here. Goldbacks right here. You can get all these on Amazon. And if you're interested in Goldbacks, if you're new to Goldbacks, if you're a business that has bought Goldbacks or that is using Goldbacks, and you want to know how to incorporate that into your business, this is your book right here. I don't think there's anything out there like it. Nobody's talking about it. So I put my neck out there. I don't think these are the Bible, but I think they're really good information. And the biggest thing that I wanted to do is put this out there so people can read it, dissect it, form their own opinions, form their own strategies, agree with it, disagree with it. I don't care. It's content. And I know this is going to change lives because the same financial principles that I used for everyday living in the fiat world, I use for this. And I've been using this since, I don't know, I kind of thought about this around 2019, 2020, this whole thing. And if you apply the same systems to precious metals, it's the same thing, y'all, because what I learned in building this is that when we were on a gold system, all the tricks and everything that they use in the financial world today were used back then in the gold system. So that means the same stuff that we can do today with fiat currency, we can also do with precious metals. That's what this stuff is all about.
Absolutely. Guys, I just wanted to say Dub C is in the house. Welcome, Dub C. Who else we got in there? We got Crawdaddy Stacks. Didn't call him out before. What's up, Crawdaddy? I think I got everybody else though. So yeah, a couple of questions. Fishy is doing great. He sent me pictures of his scale. He's kicking ass and taking names. He is working on the Summer of Shred, he calls it. And let's just suffice to say he has lost some weight.
I want to say if Fishy is working on the Summer of Shred and that's keeping him away from the stacking community, he better be popping up some pics of him on a stage flexing and you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's not what's keeping him away. He's made some pretty deliberate decisions, and one of these days I'm going to get him on and he can tell everybody about it. I'm sure there's other people in the community he talks to, obviously, and they know what's going on. So, but I mean, it's his news and I wouldn't want to dump it out there.
We know he's doing good. We miss you, Fishy.
Yeah, he's doing good. So, Dub C, you got my rush going last night. You put vital signs in a video. I think I said this before, but I watched the video like 3 times. A lot of nice gold, but that song, man, Jesus. For about the next hour, I was listening to nothing but Rush. Put my headphones in, I'm jamming, I'm air drumming, I'm playing the bass. And my wife comes out. She's like, "I've been yelling for you." I was like, I can't hear nothing, man. I'm jamming. I'm jamming Rush. I'm 17 again right now. It was fun. Yeah, it was cool. It was just I was doing a little playlist, not a playlist, just played one song, and it went from one to the next to the next. Each one was better, as good or better than the first one. So yeah, good times, man. Thanks, Dub.
And Dub, I just want to let you know we have officially established here in this chat this morning that there is the Dub C the Dub C Horde. I'm sorry, it's the Dub C Horde.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Your video was great last night, by the way. Your live was fantastic.
So what was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you something. I can't remember now. See, Rush distracted me again.
I'm looking to see. We got Crawdaddy Slacks. Stacks is in there. Of course, Pajama Stacking. We already said hi. Ooh, Opal Rose popped in. Hi, Opal Rose.
Hey, Opal.
You guys still in the chat here. Dub C popped in. You guys know. Serpent's still in the house. Who else do we got in here that popped in? Matt Winge still here. We still got Average Jane. What's going on, Average Jane? Lurking in the background there, keeping the chat going.
Yeah,
Penny
she's
still in the house. I think that's everybody.
Oh, I was trying to get the chat back up on my phone. I lost it for a second there.
Yeah, it got real quiet for a second too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that video that he had that great song in, it was about gold. I don't know what the hell it is. No, it was like a whole array of graded gold. It was just the video was great, but the song, man, that's what did it for me. Sorry to tell you. What does Dub say here? Vital Signs, one of my favorite Rush songs. Yeah, great tune, man. Awesome. Very overlooked. It's like a B-side tune, if you ask me, but awesome song.
Maybe Rush will hit the road again someday, and you can go see them live.
No, they're on the road right now, actually.
Are they?
Yeah, they hired a lady drummer. I want to think, where the hell is she from? I think she's from Poland, maybe. I don't know. But she is awesome, dude. She nails it. I've seen some of the videos. She's really good. Obviously,
are they coming to Florida? You got to check and see if they're coming to Florida.
They are, yeah. They're coming to, or they might have already been through the Hard Rock. But the cheapest ticket was like $450, and I was like, man, the good seats were like $800. I was like, you know,
Man.
I'm starting to think 800. That's almost a quarter ounce of gold at this point. I mean, if it goes down to 35, that might be close to getting a quarter ounce.
It's funny, man, when you start stacking and you start equating everything to weight, it just changes everything. You start seeing everything and you're like, man, that's 2 ounces of silver right there. I mean, do I really want that?
You know, what Dub is saying about Geddy Lee not being able to do the vocals anymore, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a lifelong fan, I'm going to cut him some slack, but why would it be bad if they hired somebody to sing and let him jam on the bass and let him hit the keyboards and let him do the bass pedals and do some backing vocals or whatever?
I don't think it's Rush, man. I mean, I've worked with a lot of those bands like Alice in Chains. Now, listen, you can close your eyes on the stage, and it's almost like Lane Stanley on Stanley on the stage, and it's Alice in Chains, but it's still not. You know, I've seen Stone Temple Pilots without Scott Weiland. It's not the same. I've seen it's just not the same. Journey
I agree. I agree with you to a point, but I saw a Journey cover band that was better than Journey, dude. I mean, I saw an ACDC rather, in a bar. You know, the only thing between me and the band was smoke. You know what I mean? And it was loud as shit. And these guys kicked ass. The vocalist was great. The guitarist was great. It was like being in a room with AC/DC for like $11, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but it's like.
No, I know.
You know why music is special? You know what makes music amazing? When I see my background, I went to audio production school. That's what I did. I learned how to record, and that's what I did. I learned how to make shit loud and reproduce things on the audio side. and they told us what our job was really was to take snapshots of time, just like a photo. That's what we do.
Hold on,
And
hold
when
on,
we
hold
hear
on,
music-
hold on. Pause. Everybody pause. We got a special guest jumping in to say hello. And I'm sorry if you were back there for a long time, but hey, Kansas Kid is here to say hello.
Oh my gosh, Kansas Kid.
Guys, what is up?
up?
It's the Kansas Kid.
What's up, kid?
How are you guys?
Yeah, man. How are you? We haven't seen you in so long. In fact,
Doing
I think,
good.
is this the first time we've ever seen your face?
Maybe. I've done face reveals before, like intermittently and stuff, but yeah, probably you guys first time you've ever seen me before, yeah. I'm
That's
driving.
amazing.
I'm on the road right now.
Yeah. So I know you said you've been working. We talked a little while back. You working on a building, putting up a building?
Yes. Yep. Getting that in the works, getting it going. It probably won't be done till November, but it's kind of a big project. But it's all good. Working on some groundwork and stuff right now for it, but a lot of my time has been spent at work. I've been traveling a lot for work. I've been on the road a lot, and I've been busy. And then, it's summertime, kids are out of school, so, spending time with the kids. I've got Silver Plains with me right now, actually driving. So,
Oh, nice.
I've been hitting different shows. I went to the Southwest Missouri Corn Show. I went to the big show in Tulsa. I'm still out doing stuff, hitting things. I just, I'm always moving. I'm always going. I'm always doing something. And anytime I stop, I sleep.
Yeah.
So
have you been picking stuff up a little bit here and there, or are you just
I have, yeah.
concentrating on the?
Nope, I'm still getting gold. I've been getting 1/10. Haven't been getting anything bigger than that. And then I've been stacking eagles like crazy. That's pretty much been my go-to. As the price has been going down, that's what I've been doing, just stacking tubes of eagles.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
So,
Good choice.
So yeah. Other than that, but I've been talking to a few guys here and there too, and keeping in touch. Blue Collar been kind of keeping in touch with you here and there too. And yeah, man, just been busy. Lots of stuff going on. Enjoying life, and still stacking. I've got a lot of stuff to show you guys too. I'm really excited to show you some new additions, some vintage additions, some
nice.
vintage bars I've picked up. I have not had time to get on there and do something with everything I got going on.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. It's funny how it happens too. It's like you were pretty much gangbusters, putting out stuff, and then all of a sudden, bam, you stopped. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, that was. I tell you what, I had. I picked up a couple different projects on the side, and I got my time really wrapped up into these things. So I was putting all my extra time into this building project that I'm working on, and a couple other, just different directions I'm going, and it just eats up a bunch of my time. And then on top of that, with work, I took a new position at work that I am a systems executive chef now. So the systems chef covers multiple states and multiple kitchens. So they've got me going down to, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Joplin, Missouri, Kansas City, just all over the place.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And,
that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, it
Moving
is.
up the ladder.
It is. Yep. So, and it's something I've been wanting to do. I've been kind of putting it off, but then the position had just kind of presented itself, so I took it. So, I've got to, that's number one to me. That's my breadwinner. So I got to put as much as I can into that. But
Oh yeah.
I've got so many little side projects and stuff going on that I'm just wrapped up in it.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear from you, man. I know everybody is always asking. It always comes up in the chat. How's Fish doing? How's Kid doing? So I'm glad you could jump on.
Speaking of
Appreciate
bands,
it.
Yeah.
who's that you got? Who's that shirt?
Oh, Local H.
H. There you
You guys remember Local H?
Not me.
I do.
90s
Local
band.
H, they had the big song. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't.
It's Bound to the Floor.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. So we just went to see these guys in the Toadies. You guys remember the Toadies?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. Awesome Kingdom. So
Awesome Kingdom.
my boys really dig the Toadies, and so my
I
youngest
love the
son
Toadies.
and my oldest son took them down to Oklahoma City to go see the Toadies.
Oh wow, that's my.
And here's a little funny.
That's where I
Here's the
grew
funny
up.
thing is, I've been playing in a band also, so my time has been going to the band as well, and we play a lot of Toady songs in the band. So my boys hear me play these Toady songs, so it's kind of cool to take them to go see the actual band. You know.
You said you go to you went to Joplin, Joplin, Missouri. Trying to remember my buddy Josh. They were oh my gosh, they're huge now. I'll think of their name in a second. You'll know them.
So what's on your agenda for the rest of today? What are you going? We got to get some information out of you here.
Well,
Where you
today,
heading?
right now, I'm heading to go set up some sound at a local racetrack.
Yep.
I do sound and stuff on the side, so we're going to a local racetrack, and I am setting up all their PA sound, all their outdoor sound. It's another one of my little side projects that I do, and that way, whenever they have the races, they can do announcing that everyone can hear.
There you go.
So,
Do you know
I've
the
got my
Black
truck
Moods?
loaded.
You know who the Black
Yeah, I
Moods
do.
are?
Yeah, actually, I went and seen those guys. Josh, the lead singer. I just went and seen those guys in concert not that long ago.
Bro,
Yep.
So me and Josh went to school together. I recorded.
Oh, really?
So back in the days before they were him, Chico, the drummer, all those guys, bro. We're talking going back to 2000. So I still talk to Josh and Chico and all those guys when they come out here to Vegas. I come out here and we hang out. Bro, I've known those guys for 26 years now.
So Chico is he's only like 45 originally.
Oh, Chico
he's
wasn't
from
the
here,
original drummer.
and
he wasn't the original drummer. The original drummer, I want to say his name was like Chad or something like that. Their original band, bro, I can play you demos. So back then, we were all in Phoenix, and Josh had the hookup with the Gym Blossoms, and I go into this. Rob Wilson at the Gym Blossoms every Friday at the time played at this little bar called Long Wongs, and he would just go in there and do an acoustic set. I'm 18 at the time, and I'm thinking, I'm sorry, I've just turned 21 at the time, so I'm thinking as soon as I turn 21 on my 18th birthday, I'm going to go down to Long Wongs and I'm going to meet Rob Wilson, and I'm in recording school at the time, and I'm going to have him come to school and I'm going to record his ass. So he goes out on in between his set on a smoke break, and I go outside I smoked at the time, and I meet up with him and I introduce myself to him and I say, hey man, I want to record you. He's like, I usually charge about $20,000 for a recording. He's like, I'd be glad to do that. He's getting all professional with me. And I'm like, bro, I'm a broke college student. I don't got no money to pay you to record. He's like, but he goes, my engineer is going to be here later tonight, and if you stick around, I'll introduce you to him, and if he likes you, he's like, you can come and you can intern at the studio. Guess who his audio engineer was? Josh Kennedy.
Was it really?
Yep, Josh Kennedy.
What year
I met
was
Josh
this?
Kennedy. This was in 2000. This would have been 2001, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so
okay.
Josh hired me as an intern while I was in school at the Gym Blossom studio. And there I got to record. Josh's band wasn't the Black Moods at the time. It was Chalmers Green. And I got to record them and the Gym Blossoms and stuff like that. So I got all kinds of demos of those guys back in the days.
Man, that's cool. That's real cool. Yeah, those guys are great, man. Anytime they come in the area, I like to go see them.
Yep. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. So
I wish I had your. You should text me your phone number. I'll shoot you some photos. I got photos with those guys. You'll see them.
Oh, right on. Yeah, cool.
We're connected, Kansas Kid Beyond Silver. We're connected.
I like it. I'll hook you guys up. I'll share contacts with you guys.
Cool. That'll work. That'll work.
Awesome.
So, all right, guys. Hey, I got to get. All right. I just want to come in and say hi. I'm getting ready to turn off and get to this place I'm going to. But hey, I've been listening to you guys and kind of keeping up, kind of in the background. But school's getting ready to start back up, and I'm going to be back at it with you guys. Okay. So
Awesome.
I just, with things going on, like I said, I'm going to slow down here probably in the next month or so, and I'll get back at it and see you guys.
All right. Well, you got to do a video over by that building. We want to see what's going on. That's what
absolutely.
That's my thing. I'm a builder. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, brother.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you coming on. Thanks, kid.
Talk to you later on.
Seeing you, Kansas.
Later. All right. That was a nice little surprise, huh?
Yeah, it
That's
was.
amazing, bro.
I know
That's-
ASE said he I even remember this. He did that live where they had the tornado sirens going off and all that. And he says, I'll let you guys know. And then all of a sudden, we didn't hear anything. And it's like, dude, you all right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. I just when they started asking about him, I shot him a text with the link, not really expecting that he would hit it. But good thing he did. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Good
got to shoot
talking.
me over his contact number. I think we know some other people too. If he kind of dabbles in the same stuff that I do. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know he was into the sound gig either.
Oh well,
I
I
had
saw his shirt and I asked him about it, and he kind of opened up that whole thing. I had no clue either.
Yeah, I didn't know that was one of his side projects,
Yeah. Born to Get Down. That's a great song. Yeah, I forgot about that band.
Yeah, I had never heard of them, honestly, but
You've heard it in the 90s. You couldn't have gone through the 90s and not heard their song. It was like on every single radio station 50
Was
million times a day. Yeah, you heard
what
that.
was the name of the band? I got to write it down.
Oh, I forgot their name of this, but their song is Born to Get Down. Born to Get Down. I think I learned my lesson before now. Born to Get Down. Plan B, I think, or something like that.
I don't know. Dub C put it in the chat before.
Yeah, it's in the chat. You'll have to go back and look at it. I forgot their name. They were huge.
Yeah.
But the Toadies, you know who the Toadies is. Possum
Oh, yeah,
Kingdom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gin Blossoms, everybody knows them.
Dude, they were so awesome, bro. I mean, listen, when I grew up,
90s.
I wasn't the biggest Gin Blossom fan. They were a little bit more poppy than what I was into. I was like really into Pearl Jam and Soundgarden. I was really into the grunge kind of 90s music. So I wasn't really a huge Gin Blossom fan, but I mean, literally, bro, I sat down and I'm talking to Robin. I got to know him. It was just like talking to her. He was just so cool. He was just the coolest guy in the world. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, I bet, man. I bet you've had a couple of good experiences like that. I know you do some pretty high profile stuff now.
Oh yeah, but I've been doing it for 25 years. So yeah,
Do you prefer that over your other profession?
Well, I started doing real estate because of COVID. When COVID happened, every single show, everything canceled, right? So
Right.
I have my real estate license, so I'm like, I got to pay bills. The bills didn't stop, did they? And that little $1,200 stimulus that they sent out to everybody. Yeah. So I had a real estate license. So I'm like, let's do this. And so from 2020 to 2025, I grew from 0 to top 3% agent in Vegas. But I miss audio, brothers. I have to work to do real estate. Audio is I've been doing it all my life. It's in my blood. I don't have to think. I mean, it's just second nature.
Yep. Serpent says you work the Sick New World in Vegas, right? Question mark.
Yes, and I'm doing the one in Dallas too next month in August. I'll be in Dallas. I don't know what stage yet. I haven't gotten the information, but they asked me to do the one in Dallas too, so I'll be in Dallas.
Sober Stacker just came in. What's up, Sober? So Dallas, now Texas is such a big state. You know, we got so many Texans in the community, but if you say Dallas, it's just like it could be 5 hours from somebody.
Right. Right.
You know?
Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, that whole area is huge. And the traffic there, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. Went to Arlington twice actually, and driven through there, but never really. I stayed there for about 3 days, I think.
We went there all the time. Is when I mean, I grew up in Oklahoma City. Sober, what up, man? We'd go down there. Six Flags was the spot, bro. I mean, oh, Six Flags over Fort Worth, over Arlington. That was our teenage hangout spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what year that was. I think it was 99. We were, you know what, how I ended up there. We were out on the road. My kids were young, you know, so we could just get in the truck. We used to leave and not know exactly where we were going to go, you know. And I had a trailer, like a camping trailer, and we would just hit the road. And one time we were going through, I think it was Dayton, Ohio, and we were like, my wife's like, yeah, make a right. I was like, okay. We started heading south. We go through Nashville. We ended up down in like, I don't even, Arkansas and Texarkana. Then we ended up in Arlington, went through New Mexico, ended up in Colorado. That was a hell of a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Okay.
That was back in the good old days, I guess.
Yeah. Good times.
So you didn't stop in Dayton.
Nah, Dayton. We weren't stopping there, man. We were trying to, I had to hammer down. Is that a bad town? I don't know. This was in 99.
It's gotten pretty bad over the years, you know, and you talk about the cities that you make sure you lock your doors when you drive through them. But they're getting a lot of traffic down there now because one of the suburbs of Dayton just got a Buc-ee's. And
Oh, really?
oh yeah. Yeah, the novelty hasn't worn off yet, but my kid's like, Dad, we gonna go? Yeah, because you're gonna carry that thing with you. That's damn right.
Hell yeah. Never leave home without it, like the American Express.
Too close to Dayton for me.
So I was actually just going to look at the map and see if it was Dayton or if it was another area. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Dayton, Ohio. Not that it matters, but got me thinking.
Yeah, you guys are talking about traffic in Texas. We the new bridge between Detroit and Canada officially opens to traffic Monday.
Oh,
And
wow.
We thought traffic was bad in Detroit. Now, it dumps onto I-75, and it's already bad. You know, bad enough the trucks want to run 3 and 4 wide on 75 now. Now all the extra traffic that's going to be coming across, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, our traffic's been picking up too. You know, so many people moved here after COVID, post-COVID, during COVID. Hopefully some of them leave soon, man. I hate to break it to you, but it sucks. It really does. It's like I'm hoping some of these people get bored with sunshine and freedom.
Yeah. Well, I know I got a friend that moved down there, but hers was kind of more for health reasons because the climate down there versus the climate up here.
Yep.
You know, it's just the winters were really hard on her, so she and her husband packed up and moved down. I want to say they're down just north of Miami.
Excuse me.
But I was like, yeah, you know, you can keep the you can keep the humidity. Me and the humidity don't get along.
Yeah, but just so you know, everything is north of Miami.
Well,
the only thing south of Miami is the
like
Keys.
A suburb of Miami. Let's put it that way.
I got you. Sober Stacker, to answer your question, it's up on the screen. Vegas is doing just fine, man. He's good. Everything's good with him. Everybody, it's kind of well known that, you know, one of his pups is sick, and he's you know, just trying to take care of that, and he's got some family you know, obligations that him and his wife are spending a lot of time together and doing their thing. And He's just enjoying life. He's being Vegas, man. He's having a good time, and he's just fine. He really is. He's doing great. He'll be back. You know, he's just got to come back at his pace.
Yeah, you got to take a break.
Yeah, you know, I mean, listen, it's burnout is a real thing.
Right.
We were doing 2 shows a week. We didn't miss really a weekend, you know. So
That's 4 hours too, because your shows
Yeah.
are right about 2 hours long. So that's
Yeah.
4-hour commitment a week out of your
Well,
life.
And there were some of those Monday night ones where you guys start at 9:00 and you guys were still going well after midnight.
no, tell me about it. It got a little crazy for a while there. We were, you know, doing, 2.5, 3, 4 hour shows. And even after the show, we were like, dude, we got to keep this down to like maybe 1.5, 2 hours max.
Right.
You know, Vegas, he works nights, so it's not as hard on him as it is on me. Right now, Dub C is saying, hard on. No, it's not as hard on him as it is on me because I was getting up at like 5:30 in the morning after being on till, 1:15, 2 o'clock or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know it's when Cranky and I do ours every other Monday night, we're usually only on for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then we call it a night.
Yeah, I've been trying to cut it at like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The few shows that I have been doing.
Yep.
I did send Vegas the link, but he's sleeping now. You know what I mean? So.
Well, and he shared it on YouTube. So.
Yeah, no, I know he does that. But he worked last night. He used to kill himself to be awake Saturday mornings. And then after the show, he basically collapsed for 5 or 6 hours, and it just was killing his whole day, you know?
Right.
Messing up his harmonious vibe. And especially if he left work a little early that night, he might have got home at like 3 a.m. He's got to stay up till 7 or, try to get a nap. It's Saturdays are rough for him.
Right.
So he's taking a well-deserved break.
Well, I'm glad that it's still going along because I'm telling y'all, man, I love the Monday Night Metal show and the Saturday mornings. The Saturday mornings are a little rougher on us out here on the West Coast because it's so early. But I mean, I'm usually up pretty early most of the time, anyways, so it's no big deal to me. And when the show doesn't happen, whether I'm on it or not, I miss it, and it's like, man, I miss talking to everybody and hearing everybody in the chat and seeing what's going on.
Yep. Sober Stacker sent some jewels.
There's a lot of live streams that used to be like weekly things that are gone now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to be able to set my watch to certain ones. That's like, oh man, there's another one.
Yeah.
Gone. There's another one gone. So I know we've had a couple of our more popular, not the big name ones, but some of our more popular YouTubers that have gone to do different things with YouTube channels and that.
Yep.
And I know that takes up some of their time from when they were doing lives and that. And then you have people that just now they've kind of written everybody off and they only associate with certain people. So
I don't know who you're talking about.
I won't mention name. No, not him. I'm talking about somebody else, but that will remain nameless. I have sent several texts to that person and try to reach out, hey, everything good, get ignored. And then when you do pop in the chat on the one live stream they're in, they'll go down the list and, hey, what's up you? Skip Mishy, what's up with you? So I'm like, oh, okay. So apparently I'm on the, pardon my French, apparently I'm on the shit list now. So
you're on the pay no mind list.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if I ever do that, it's not that you're on the pay no mind list. I'm just blind, dude.
Hey, I know you guys, because you guys get like, just sometimes you gotta like slow down the chat to be able to, from scrolling, to actually see who all's there. But I mean, this one, it's like literally habitually, because the other person on the chat will be like, hey, what's up, man? And that person usually goes, hey, and nothing. And the texts go unanswered, the voicemails go unanswered. It's like whatever. So
well, remind me to ask you behind the scenes when we get off. I'll have to ask you because
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
It's not who you thought I was talking about.
No, I didn't even really have anybody in mind. I was just being, a little coy, trying to get you to bring it out, but that's all good. Yeah, there's a lot, there's a lot of little clicky things going on in the community right now.
Yep.
A couple of lady stackers have been battling back and forth. No names mentioned. A couple of male stackers have been battling. Humble LBS.
Yeah, I knew about that one. So
yeah.
Because I noticed that the Metal Mob started appearing earlier than it used to, and that somebody was not present anymore. So
right, yep. Yeah, but it's like, I don't know, man. We can't we all just get along?
That's what I'm saying.
Can't we all just get along?
West Texas says he noticed that Yankee and Silver Dragons, they haven't been doing as many live streams as they usually do.
That might be a good thing, though. I mean, I like Yankee. Dragons, I could take them or leave them.
I don't see no Littlefoot today, but if you're out there, Littlefoot, hey, what's up? Littlefoot, man, he wins all the prizes from those guys.
Yeah, he does. Littlefoot must be working today, otherwise he probably would jump in and say hello.
I actually won a giveaway one time on Yankees live stream back in
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was like I don't know, somehow the giveaway got beefed up and I won a couple I think it was a Kennedy and a Benji 90%ers. So
that's awesome. So cool.
And of course, everybody gets on their chat, and if certain people win, they're like rigged. I actually typed rigged. It's got to be rigged if I won. So
yeah. So Space Miner jumped in. What's up, Space Miner? How you doing, buddy? Opal Rose said she started doing lives. Now I haven't seen any. I'll have to go back and look. Do you keep them posted up? I'll have to go back and check that out.
Oh, he won twice 2 years ago. West Texas Stacker said he won twice 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Opal's doing lives now. Opal said she started doing lives. I got to check them out, Opal.
So West Texas says that's why he keeps it to just him and the missus, right? If a clique develops there, you got problems, my brother. You know what I mean? If you got a rivalry with that co-host, you got problems.
No kidding.
Bigger than live stream problems. Nah, they put on a good show, man. I love jumping in their stuff.
Yeah, they keep it fun. He puts on his characters. He's funny.
Yep. Yeah, I try and come up with my Spanglish when he's got that Vato character. I'm always like trying to impress him with my Spanglish. Trying to keep up with the chatty chat here. Opal, it's hard with busy schedule. Yeah, no kidding, man. So you've done 2 before. Let's see. 2 so far. Wait, nobody ever asked me to join in. Dub C, you are welcome anytime. If I had your phone number, I'd text you a link right now.
Drop it in the chat.
He's like, oh, you can email it to me. You got my email. I'll drop it in the chat. Why not? Let me see. Paste. Oh, I can't. Hold the phone. Hold it down, fellas.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Hold it down, fellas.
Watch out.
Watch it. You guys aren't doing a good job holding it down right now.
I'm telling you, hold on there, Turbo. I'm checking out the chat here. Dude, the aluminum foil Scarface character. I'm seeing what's going on in the chat here. We got Sober in here. We got Space Miner. We got West Texas Stacker. Okay, Blue Collar just dropped the link for you. Dub. We got Paying in the house, Space Miner. Who else we got in here? We got Opal Rose. Y'all go over to Opal Rose's channel, subscribe,
Yep.
check her live. She's doing lives now. Encourage, get her going. Silver Serpents, what up, man?
West Texas says BCS could do a Tony Montana Scarface character. Yeah, man. If I could ever get my good friend, I'm not going to say his name, my buddy on here, and he's a stacker, man. I think he probably has more stuff than Stack Daddy. And if I could ever get him on here, he is a freaking character. All right. We got some riffraff in the backstage. What's up,
Paying? It's a
Pepsi?
5-ouncer. It's a 5-ouncer.
Hi,
Welcome,
hear me?
Mr. C. What's going on?
Am I audible?
You are audible, very loud and clear.
Well, hello everybody. Thank you for allowing me on. I'm sitting here drinking my coffee thinking, man, I wish I could go live. Nobody ever asks me onto their show.
That is so untrue. I gave you an open invitation. I'll produce the email. I even asked you, do you want a regular spot once a month?
Man,
And I think you turned me down.
Can you imagine wanting to listen to me once a month?
Oh, I think people love you, man.
It's nice to hear that. It really is. And it's whenever I get into a chat now, and I know I'm like this huge phenomenon, people are just completely consumed with it. It is that's not true. I'm just being silly. It's weird when I jump into a chat now and people act like I'm kind of a big deal. I'm like, no, I'm literally, I say it all the time. I'm just a stacker like everybody. I've been doing it for a little bit longer than some people, but it's a weird, humbling kind of thing to see people act like I'm a big deal, because that's totally not how I see myself. This is something that I truly enjoy, and it's so nice to have a community of people who share that enthusiasm. Anyway,
Well,
I don't know. I'm just sitting here drinking
listen,
coffee thinking, let me do this.
Your stock went up tenfold yesterday when you put a Rush song in your video. So as far as I'm concerned, you are a stacking god at this point.
The appreciation that I have for Rush is because they're amazing musicians. They seem like genuinely nice people, but also I think I like some of the older stuff. I like Moving Pictures. I like a little bit of the later stuff, but they've done probably 6 albums that I've never even listened to before, because they kind of reached a point where it's just kind of like, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Well, look, I'm a lifelong fan, and they've done probably at least 6 albums that I've never heard one song off of.
There you go. Yeah, for real.
At a certain point, it's like you get caught in like a time loop, right? I'm a fan of the early stuff.
For sure. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Scientists say that our taste in music solidifies by the time we graduate from high school. And
oh boy,
after that starts to sound kind of not good. With a few exceptions. There's, every once in a while you'll discover a band, you'll hear a song, you're like, wow, that's a really cool song. But for the most part, our brains kind of mature in that direction about the time that we hit college. And that's why everybody always has this kind of romantic glory day feelings about the stuff they listened to in high school. It's one of the reasons why I do the Worldwide Wednesdays and my Friday Night Lives, when I talk about spinning the Darkwave songs, as if, there is no Darkwave channel. I'm just being silly. But yeah, it feels real to me. Those are the bands that I still listen to. That's the stuff that I like to hear.
So, you know what I found out recently, and I feel like quite a fool. The Sex Pistols were like a put-on band. They weren't like a real band. They were like a manufactured thing.
A manufactured thing, yeah.
I will tell you, I have done monitors here in the U.S. for the Sex Pistols. They are 100% a real band, and they are awesome.
No, I mean, definitely. Steve Stevens is an amazing guitar player, underrated guitar player, and I like John Lydon quite a bit as a singer too, as a personality. He takes no crap from anybody, and he's very, very serious about a lot of stuff. But they were manufactured. There's a guy named Malcolm McLaurin who, in addition to Vivian Westwood, they owned a shop called Sex. That was the name of it. And they sold cutting-edge fashions in the 1970s, early 1970s. That was kind of the birth of the look of punk rock.
God save
and Johnny Rotten worked at Sex, and they just said, hey, let's put together a band, kind of the same way that boy bands were manufactured, in the 1990s. It was the same thing. They just had a couple people who, can you hold the guitar and look cool? And that was really what it came down to. That's how the Sex Pistols were formed. So they weren't serious in terms of the politics of punk rock. They were just a manufactured group, but they turned out to be one of the most consequential bands of all time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I wasn't around for that scene, but having not known that, I felt like foolish not knowing that.
Very political, very politically motivated in their lyrics and in their music. You can it kind of captures that whole era of what they were dealing with.
Yeah, for sure. So what are we talking about? We're talking about vintage silver bars. Everybody saw that video last night. Man, my live stream last night blew. It's a weird thing when you start doing lives and you start putting that much pressure on yourselves. I know you guys were just talking about live streams before I popped in. They're arguably a live stream is an easier thing to do than a produced video. I try to release a produced video once a week, and that's usually about a 30-minute long video. I mentioned in my live stream last night that the video that I released yesterday, the produced video that was specifically about the Lydian Horde, I shot 4 times, each one of those 30, 35 minutes long, that involved setting up everything. And for this one, I had 40 something silver bars, and I had them set up chronologically. So I was exposing them as I saw them 3 years ago as this horde was uncovered. To have to do that every single time that I reshot that video was a bear. And then the live stream last night, I was so tired. I just felt like I wasn't giving 100%. And those words coming out of my mouth to say, I'm not giving 100% on a live stream on YouTube. What a weird phenomenon that I have grown into being a YouTube content creator. It's a fascinating journey looking at it kind of objectively and seeing just how tricky some of this stuff is. And it's amazing that all of us have our sanity, because like you guys were talking about, I know that Blue Collar in Vegas did hours long live streams. My longest live streams like an hour and 10 minutes. I just can't do it. I mean, I feel like such a prima donna saying that, but it's true. It's hard. It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. Well, doing live streams with Vegas is easy because he keeps the conversation going, man. He's very good with live streams. He's very cool. He's a cool character, man.
Fun to listen to, for sure. And probably part of the problem is that I don't really have guests on. It's something that I've kind of toyed with, and I may do at some point in the future. But having to do every single word that is said on a live stream for an hour and 15 minutes, to keep it going at the pace that I feel is kind of interesting and entertaining, so that people don't just click off and are bored and fall asleep. It's hard it really is. It's genuinely hard to do. So props to everybody who does that kind of thing. It's definitely tricky.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got a question. Now, did I hear you right? You named it the Lydian Horde?
Correct. I named it the Lydian Horde.
Okay. So it wasn't like something that existed as the Lydian Horde and you went and bought it. When you acquired it, you said, wow, I got to give this a name. Yeah.
So the really, the 3-second introduction to it is that my dealer had 3 vintage silver bars one day when I popped in 3 years ago, and I picked them up because they were vintage silver and I like vintage silver. And then they called me and said, do you want to come up, pick up some more of those vintage silver bars? And I thought they meant that they had 3 or 4 more. And I showed up and there were 3 dozen more of those vintage silver bars. So it became a thing. There were actually 5 different events where I had to go buy even more of these, to the point where there was finally almost 4 dozen of these vintage silver bars, something like 500 ounces. And at a certain point, you realize that it's not just 2 or 3 bars. And in order to kind of keep the focus on them, I was trying to study these, incorporate them all. And it was a unique event that happened over a couple of months, and it just became easier to call it a horde, just to name these pieces, to separate them from the rest of the pieces in my stack, or whatever you want to call it. So these pieces came out of that group. I don't want to just call it that group from May of 2023. So what do I call it? I started calling it the Lydian Horde after the first coins that were ever made. And then,
now,
go ahead.
Yeah, again, excuse me for if I didn't hear you or listen correctly.
Yeah.
Are they all from one previous owner, or were they just from multiple owners?
All from one previous owner.
All right. Well, that's cool.
So this had been, as far as we can tell,
That's
and I
what I
did have a
thought.
chance to meet the person that brought these in was an heir to an estate. And the person that had collected these was a traveling salesman in and around California in the late 1980s. And he, just to his credit, stopped into local coin shops and bought all of the bars that were made in this region. And I made the point in the video last night that he would have had ample opportunity to pick up Engelhard and Johnson Matthey bars also, but he didn't do that. He was really honestly looking for these small regional refineries. And that's why it's kind of an interesting collection and why I work so hard to keep it as one collection, because he had clearly put some thought and effort into it. He was buying these pieces because he liked them, not because it was the easiest way to get to the silver.
And when did he actually make the purchases? Were they from back in the day, or
Yeah,
was it more recent?
I had a chance to speak with the heir of the estate, and they told me that he had been a traveling salesman in the mid 1980s to the very early 1990s. So that would have been when he was picking these up.
Okay. So they were already probably 15, 20 years old at that point.
Yeah, at least. Well, I mean, some of these date to about 1977, 78. Some of these probably made into the early 1980s, 82, 83, something like that. So when he was picking them up, the majority were probably within a 5-year period of time of having been made. And then he was finding some a little bit later as well. But it was all pretty much concurrent from when these pieces were made. They weren't old by any stretch of the imagination. It would have been the equivalent of walking into your local coin shop and buying a silver bar that was made 4 or 5 years ago. You wouldn't think of that as being vintage or antique. It's just a silver bar. And that's kind of the way these were.
All right. So now as far as value goes, you don't have to get too specific, but I mean, those are obviously not melt value pieces. You're not going to sell them for a melt.
Yeah.
Would they be 2-3 times spot, or?
No, I don't think so. I only looked up the Star Metals bar. That's one of the most common bars that were in this group. Star Metals is kind of a popular bar because it's got kind of an interesting logo. And I said in that video that I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that we're collectors at heart. We like things that look cool. And you have kind of an expectation of what a vintage bar should look like. And it's one of the reasons that there are some very rare vintage bars that have very little value to them, is because they're just not very interesting looking. But
Yeah.
Star Metals that I looked up seem to be selling for somewhere about $10 per troy ounce over their silver value. So certainly not multiples of their silver, but it's still a pretty heavy premium. There are some silver bars that were in the Lydian hoard that would probably be multiples, maybe twice the silver value, maybe on a really good day for a really, really nice example, 2.5, maybe 3 times its silver value.
Mm-hmm.
Dub.
Yep.
I mentioned to you yesterday in the live, and you actually commented on it briefly.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to everybody who comments or makes comments in the live stream. When we get 400 or 500 people in them, it is so tricky to try to stay on top of it. At least I was able to respond.
You actually answered me. I asked you. I said, "Do you have any Phoenix precious metal bars?" Because I only have one that's kind of similar to your Lydian hoard, and I tried to research as much as I could about this bar.
Mhm.
Company, but there's not really a whole lot of information on there. And Blue Collar was with me when I got this, and we talked him down, and I think I got this couple of dollars over spot at the time. And I seen this on AppMex, and they're charging like $200 more than spot for this. What do you know about this company? Because you kind of got into it.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, like I said, I was having a little bit of a rough night last night. I was comparing Phoenix with some of the less expensive bars, and I'm just completely talking out of my butt, but I know that I've seen Phoenix bars before in abundance. I don't know very much about the company. I just recognize the name and also that logo. It's literally like a phoenix rising from the flames, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a stamped kind of.
It is clearly of the era, right? That is certainly of this period of time, probably late 1970s to 83, 84, something like that. But I know that I've seen them before, and that's anecdotal, right? You don't want to ever just say, because I've seen 3 of them, it means that they're common. I know that I've seen them before, and I know that I've researched them before. I at least have that memory of having done it. So it's a great looking bar, and if you didn't pay much of a premium for it, I think that's really cool. I just remember them being a little bit towards the abundant side when I had researched them in the past.
it's got the same, you were talking yesterday how all yours have the same kind of thing on the sides. I forget.
Little
Casting.
sprue remnants.
Right.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's beautiful, man. They don't make bars like this anymore. I mean, the equivalent, I think, of these things are, like I was saying yesterday, is maybe Scottsdale, I guess these are cool bars.
Yeah, cool bar. And you came pretty close to not buying that, if I recall correctly.
Well, because don't you remember he wanted so much more for it, and I was actually, Dub, you can tell me if I made the right decision. I was going back and forth between getting this or getting I think it was a 3-ounce Engelhard bar that they wanted a little higher of a premium for, because 3-ounce Engelhards are odd, and it was a casted bar too. It was a poured bar.
So you're not going to like my answer, but
I knew that was coming.
I am not the end all be all when it comes to poured silver. This is something that I am still learning. I dabbled in it a little bit in the 1990s and 2000s, but I don't really think that people were making that distinction. We didn't really appreciate it. It's one of those things that you don't understand it while you're in the thick of it. You guys were talking before about liking grunge. My younger relatives, when they talk about grunge, they're always like, did you guys realize how cool was it that you saw Stone Temple Pilots live? It's like, we didn't think of them as being this band up on a pedestal. We didn't think of Pearl Jam and Nirvana as being the end all be all. They were just another band that people listened to.
Mm-hmm.
So time has to pass before you truly appreciate how something fits into history. And when I was coming up, when I was stacking these pieces, I didn't really differentiate that much. They were interesting. They were a little bit unusual, but there wasn't much of a fan base for them. I think people were still kind of enamored with the minted silver bars. That was the newest technology. So in some regards, there might have been people who were avoiding these pieces as being something that was less than the newest thing. And you can certainly appreciate that if anybody likes the newest Star Trek coin, or the Mandalorian pieces, or the pieces that have come out of NIUE or something in the last year or two. There's always something new coming down the line, and there's always going to be people who are chasing that newest thing. I think that if I remember off the top of my head, a 3-ounce silver Engelhard, especially if it is a poured piece, is pretty unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Engelhard released, the PAMP released those bars in 2025. That also is a poured 3-ounce Engelhard piece. That's definitely a retro bar. But if I remember correctly, and if anybody wants to, they can pull open allengelhard.com. You can scroll to the unusual or odd size weights. You can find just how few of those 3-ounce poured Engelhard bars are out there. I would probably have stretched to get the Engelhard bar. But again, there's nothing wrong with a Phoenix at all. It is clearly a vintage silver bar. It's got an interesting logo. That was one of the things that I talked about earlier. That's what attracts stackers to being kind of collectors of these things. It's all of that interest, the odd weight, the interesting design, a little bit of kind of cool older toning, something that hasn't been made in 30 or 40 years. That's what I'm attracted to. That's what I drift towards.
I think that's kind of what caught my eye about when I saw this.
Sure.
Is I don't really see these kind of poured bars. And the Engelhard, when I said poured Engelhard, it was really like a casted Engelhard, like a standard.
Yeah, I use the word interchangeably. They mean the same thing to me.
Yeah. So exactly, because you pour it into a cast. So I don't know. I guess I should have gone onto the Engelhard site and looked up mintage numbers and done that. But I did not do that, so that was a mistake right there. I think what caught my eye was the rareness, and like you don't see too many of these. And I thought, I see a lot of Engelhards, and maybe I'll just get a 5-ounce later. But that was my thought.
I think that's fair, right? If you picked up something that was interesting to you, that's ultimately what it boils down to. I'm sure there are lots of people who were watching my live in the video last night who were thinking, those are stupid. Those are ugly. That's dumb. Why would anybody want that with a weird weight on it? You're talking about something that's 9.96 troy ounces. That becomes complicated when you're trying to figure out how much silver is in your stack, how much your stack is worth. That's why we stopped making these types of bars. They were inexact, and they were not as precise as the new minted bars are.
Well, I certainly enjoyed what you did. I thought it was, as soon as I saw what you had out, it caught my eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
I caught some flack last night from people saying, why are you shooting a video about the Lydian Horde? We've already talked about that. Well, yeah, we talked about it when I was making those videos 3 years ago. And if I'm okay at making videos now, I was terrible 3 years ago. Those videos were awful. And I didn't, once again, you don't appreciate when you're in the thick of it how interesting this story is until the story is told and a little bit of time passes. I didn't know that I was going to find 40 silver bars and be in it to the tune of, 12 or 13,000 bucks. I had no idea at the time.
Well,
So
also at the time you might have had 800 subscribers. Now you got 12,000 and whatever. So it's perfectly fine to bring out that story again.
I had 50 or 100 subscribers at the time. When I first launched my YouTube channel, I literally had no idea what a subscriber was. I was making videos because people kept on asking me the same questions on Reddit and other social media platforms. Why is this coin worth more than that? When should I have this piece sent off to a third-party grader? That kind of thing. And it was, nonstop calls even on the weekend. It was the kind of thing that I get kind of tired asking or answering the same question over and over again. So I thought, let me just make some videos about it, and I'll just tell people I did a video when I send something off, when I've made the decision, how I come to the conclusion that it's the right time to send a coin to a third-party grader, that kind of thing. And that's how I launched my channel. But when I first, I found the Lydian Hoard literally like 2.5 months after I launched my channel, and I had 3 dozen subscribers at the time.
Yeah. So that does bring up a touchy subject, though, because I was watching Vermilion the other day, and he said basically that the refineries won't even touch that stuff. They'll, if you bring that in to sell to him, he's giving you silver scrap price for that.
For the vintage silver bars?
Yeah, you gotta find the right audience for that, for sure.
I think that's fair, right? I think that that's the case of anything that is vintage and then it has potential value. And if they're a coin shop and they're in business to make money turning over product as quickly as possible, I'm not going to fault them for doing that. Now, if they buy this kind of thing for silver melt value and then they turn it around and sell it for twice its melt value, that gets to be an issue. But if they're one of those shops who deals in silver and silver is silver to a lot of people, then, that's just what they do. And I'm not going to fault them for that.
Yeah, but the way he explains it, anything poured that doesn't have a even weight, like 10 ounce, 50 ounce, 100 ounce, whatever. Okay. They're paying only scrap price for that, which is about 75%. I don't know. I find that ridiculous, but
is it?
They should at least give you melt value minus a couple of bucks.
Yeah, the proof of the pudding is how much somebody is willing to pay for it, and not everybody is willing to pay a premium for vintage pieces. But there are clearly dealers who are buying back of melt when it comes to 90% and to anything. If you're talking about sterling silver flatware right now, you can't give that away. So right. It's probably a function of what that store is, getting offered from their distributors and how much money they're able to turn on it. But you can go to eBay right now and find any of the bars that I showed last night, with a few exceptions of the really, really rare pieces. And you will find recent purchases of those in that price range that I was talking about. And then you've got companies like Mineral Exchanges or whatever the high-end auction company is. You can look at their auction prices, and they're constantly getting a really high premium for good pieces. It really is dependent on the maker, the weight of the bar, the age of the bar, and everything else.
Right. No, I get that. But if you had to liquidate quickly, which obviously you don't have to do that, you're wealthy. But if you had to liquidate quickly, you'd be in a bad shape with stuff like that.
I think that's fair. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, for sure. So for the average stacker that is using this as like a savings vehicle, might not be a great piece for them.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I kind of caution about. You guys know that I'm really reluctant to give financial advice, which is kind of funny because in some regard, I am a financial advisor. If you use this as a get-rich-quick scheme, I don't think that's appropriate. If you have to use it as a savings program, because the money that you get paid slips through your fingers very easily. And when you put it into a silver bar, you at least know that you've got something that you can put in the shoebox, put under your bed, put in the gun safe, and you're going to have something 6 weeks or a month later, whatever it is. That's not what I would recommend people doing, but I can certainly understand that position. But yeah, you're absolutely right. What I would say is look for these pieces. If you can find good quality pieces, if you can do that learning, that always be learning thing, and you can identify the pieces that potentially have value, and you can buy those for melt or very close to melt, then you've probably gotten a little bit of built-in value as well. You know, if you're buying a bar for $56 an ounce or whatever silver is right now, and you might be able to sell it to somebody for $70 or $75 an ounce, then you have augmented your purchasing power, and it's not just a savings program. It becomes something that actually has a little bit of extra value to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, West Texas says he's going to do a video, I guess, at the vault and see what their opinion is on vintage silver, you know, buying
That's
and
great.
selling it.
My
Yeah.
experience is really kind of is a limited geography here in the Midwest, and is limited to 4 or 5 shops that I deal with on a regular basis. 2 or 3 of them on a regular basis, the other ones on kind of an occasional basis. And only one of them attempts to try to sell vintage pieces at a higher volume. But I've been selling online for 35 years now, so I've never had a problem finding buyers for really good pieces. It gets to be a function of you understanding what is marketable.
Wait, 35 years? I don't even think the internet has existed for 35
I
years.
know, isn't that bizarre? It's true though, for real. But the thing is that if you have an established clientele, if you know how to get rid of pieces, whether they're coins or silver bars or anything, you can do it. But I think your argument that this is, if you need to sell quickly and in a hurry, you've got to get your hands on this money, then don't expect that you can sell this for a high profit. You probably are going to be limited to what you get on it.
Yeah, and P.S. That's not my argument. I'm just repeating what Vermilion said.
No, I think
I love vintage.
I think it's a good thing to keep in mind. I think that's a very, very rational way to think about it. And I always try to approach this rationally.
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think that the refiners pay less for uneven weighted bars?
I've never heard that before, and I'm going to have to take Blue Collar at his word that Vermilion is actually saying this. I've never encountered that before. You know, a sophisticated coin shop is going to have, at a minimum, a Sigma, and they're probably going to have an XRF or access to an XRF. So to calculate 9.96 troy ounces for a coin shop is nothing, unless they have a buyer who is just demanding 3 or 4/9 fine silver in very set amounts. But
well, I know when they were doing the squeeze back in, you know, February and March, they were, in fact, they didn't even want 5-ounce bars. They wanted, you know, 10-ounce
kilos.
bars or
Right.
1 ounce.
They wanted 10 here locally. They wanted nothing but tens and kilos, and there was a big premium on kilo bars, which was kind of a weird thing. But
because they always tell us kilos are the hardest things to move, and kilos were moving like crazy, right?
Yeah, that was a weird environment. So it really, you can tell that this is very dependent on a lot of factors that we don't really, we're not really privy to, I suppose.
Bro, this whole
I've never heard
last
a dealer poo-pooing a bar.
Was a whole lot of stuff that, you know, I think once time passes and we get to sit back and analyze this market a little bit and see how things actually played out, a lot of things didn't happen as we traditionally expected, you know?
It was a crazy time.
Sure was.
Yeah, like the whole 90% thing. It's like now 90% is actually coming back into favor. Premiums are up. And in some cases, the premium, you can sell 90% for as much or more than 3 9s.
Yeah,
in
the
some
spreads
cases.
are looking really good on 90%.
Yes, the spread on 90% right now is about $3.
Yeah,
and the spread on other stuff is wider. You know,
I had people commenting on my first video about 90%, that one that was called "Junk Silver is Not Stupid."
Yes,
people still commented on to this day. It's a pretty popular video. People still watch it quite often. But people are commenting on, like, don't you feel foolish telling people that they should buy 90% because nobody will touch it now? And, you know, I try to be kind to people when they leave kind of snarky comments. But, you know, the point is that I've been doing this for so long that I've seen everything come and go. And
yeah,
I had a hard time believing that 90%, that was it. It's over, turn the lights off. No one's ever going to want 90% again. And it seems to be coming back. I'm reluctant to say that it's back and better than before. I don't think that's quite the case yet. But I was trying to tell people now is the time to be looking at really good quality 90%. It's on sale.
And
Yeah,
you
those
can
are
find
calculated rolls of
you
Franklin
could
half dollars.
find you can find proofs for the same price in the junk bin. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I've got rolls of BU Franklin half dollars. If you can get rolls of BU Franklin half dollars, or any kind of higher quality Mercury dime now, as opposed to just kind of the random 1962, 1963 Roosevelt dimes, now is the time to get the really good pieces because everybody's running scared from it. And I talk about the silver tripod, the fact that I think it's good to have diversification within a silver stack. You don't want just 90%. But anytime something goes on sale and you're able to get the really good high quality pieces that have that built-in value we were talking about before, this was a perfect opportunity. And it seems to be playing out right now. I'm like I said, the jury's still out a little bit. I'm definitely not saying going dump all of your money into 90%. But if you find even like a really nice uncirculated roll of 64 Kennedys and your dealer's not charging a premium or is maybe even back of melt for it, why not? You've got nothing to lose.
This is typically how I've always played my 90%. There have been times where I've gone in and just specifically bought 90%, and maybe this has been a great opportunity. I didn't do that, but I always go in and I have my budget, and let's say my budget is $400 and I've got a $300 bar here. I don't know, just throwing those out there. I buy my bar and I don't want the fiat back, so give it to me back in constitutional. And over the years, I have accumulated lots of constitutional silver just by doing that.
Yeah, I've heard
You
a lot
know,
of people do that, and I don't know that I can't remember ever having done that. I'm sure I have, but I love that idea. I think that's a really good idea.
I mean, I'm going to exchange my fiat into whatever you call it, savings, investment, into metals. Why do I want my change back? Like, this is all the money I like. Give it to me back in something constitutional. Give it to me, something.
Yeah,
I
think
just like constitutional. I mean, you could do it in rounds or whatever you have money for, but constitutional tends to be the most fractional. So if he owes you $10, give it to me back in constitutional.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many positive attributes for 90%, and I've beaten them like a dead horse. The fact that it is backed by the American government, the fact that it's eminently recognizable, even people that have never seen silver before will understand what a silver quarter is. You might have to explain that it's made out of 90%, but if you've got something obsolete, you can definitely show them. It's got a face value that the value of the silver can never drop below. It's got the authenticity guaranteed. The United States Mint has been doing this for 250 years. We've never really messed up the silver content. It's got the scarcity. One of my favorite things to say is that we talked about Scottsdale silver bars. Scottsdale continues to crank out silver bars 365, right? 24 hours a day, they're making silver bars. 90% they stopped making 50 years ago, and every single day they melt it down. So there is an ever increasing supply of Silver Eagles, of Scottsdale silver bars, of everything else that's coming out right now. And there is an ever decreasing supply of 90%. They stopped making it 50 years ago. They'll never make it again. And eventually that's going to mean something pretty substantial, I think. So all sorts of attributes. Don't buy nothing but 90%, but to avoid it, I think, is not a good idea either.
100%.
Yeah, no, I think when 90% was at its lowest and everybody was pissing on it, for lack of a better word, that was the signal, man. That was like the bat signal. Go buy as much as you can.
I mean, I've always said that I'm a contrarian, and I don't run towards the things that everybody else seems to be attracted to. I look for the things that were hot a minute ago and people have put down. So yeah, I mean, it seemed obvious, but there's so much weight on people running from 90%, and I had never experienced that before, that it does make you start to question. They're like, wow, maybe this is a new chapter. And you pause for just a second and you think, no, it doesn't make any sense. Buy cautiously, but get the good pieces now while they're on sale. And if you're wrong, you're wrong,
Hey, I got to give a quick shout out for a second to my guy over across the pond, 365 Days of Silver.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a good book, y'all. He breaks it down in here. This is good. I mean, it's all, UK based. It's a little different for taxes and all that stuff over here. We don't have VATs and all that stuff, but still a good read for any stacker, y'all. Listen, if the internet goes away, what are we left with? They'll never take these away.
Well, they tried to do that once before. In fact, they succeeded.
That's true. West
Are you
Texas.
talking about the books or the silver?
It's definitely
I'm
about
saying
the silver and
books,
the gold.
education,
Okay.
knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you
Yep,
got
yep.
the knowledge, you can just like money. You can lose this stuff a million times, but if you got the knowledge, you know how to get it back.
West Texas says if there's a silver shortage, eventually refineries will be taking whatever they can get their hands on. You know, this was what was so perplexing about people running from 90%, because it was the refineries making those 1,000-ounce bars, because so many people, so many speculators were getting involved in the COMEX and getting contracts written on those 1,000-ounce bars that was all they were focusing on. They didn't want 90% or sterling. They wanted 3 nines or 4 nines fine silver. So it was weird to see silver skyrocketing value and people poo-pooing on 90%. That didn't seem to go hand in hand. And now with silver down in the $55 per ounce range, somewhere in there right now, it seems to make a lot more sense, but it's definitely an eye-opener.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, it's a lot harder to deal with, making calculations.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy to deal with, but at the same time, you can't replace that
Fortress
history.
stacking app. Get the Fortress. It does the calculations for you right on your phone. Easy.
There you go.
You don't have to do the math anymore.
So yeah, welcome in 365. We don't get to see you very often. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for the jewels. You, Thousandaire, Pang, everybody dropping jewels. I appreciate that.
Yeah, when do I get my cut?
Yeah, well, listen, we got that special deal. Don't worry about it. I take care of you. So yeah, Dub, you know, when are you going to make me a moderator on your channel?
Isn't that funny that Dubsy doesn't have moderators on his channel?
Absolutely ridiculous.
He's got to be the only person out there.
He is. You are. You're the only one that doesn't have mods.
How many subs does he have?
Who is that?
Dubsy.
12,568.
Something like that. So I don't know. Maybe he's onto something. I'm not saying that he is, but
Well, if you had mods, maybe you'd have 25,000 by now.
that's a fair point, right? I guess that's
You'll have to try that.
I keep on showing this sprue. I know you've got me minimized right now, but it's just you come across something like that. It is so weird looking. Kalilo, good to see you in the house, man. Thanks for being here.
Dub C is showing us his sprue.
Yeah, I'm showing off my sprue right now.
That's
Look
a
how-
large sprue.
Look how engorged that sprue is.
Now, be honest. Be honest. When I said before it's been hard on him, did you laugh? Did you laugh and say oh, hard on?
First thing I thought of.
I knew it.
Mod up. Yeah, we may have mods at some point in the future. I always come from a position of wanting that autonomy in what I'm doing, because anytime you're giving somebody else the ability to make a change to something, you might be accountable for what they are doing. And as silly as it sounds for something like a YouTube channel, it's still kind of an important concept for me. So I may do it eventually, but I may not. I don't know. I mean, it makes it kind of fun, doesn't it?
You know, I think LBS, the reason I talked to him about the mod thing, and I love that sexy Kit Kat bar, by the way. That's my favorite. His perspective on it, I think, made a lot of sense. The reason why he does mods is so that when somebody new comes on the channel, he can immediately isolate them in the chat because they're grayed out. So he'll know that that's a new person to the channel.
I think that's fair. You know, it's that YouTube has been doing this for a long time, and they understand the mechanics behind this a lot better than those of us who are in front of the camera, even though I'm not really in front of the camera. So there are reasons that they do things. You wouldn't think that having mods on a channel would be something that would be self-evident, but it clearly is. There are reasons for it. There are lots of other things like that YouTube builds into things. But we also have the ability to screen out certain words. So people have tried to say vulgar things during my live and they immediately get poofed. And people have left comments that are vulgar or not appropriate, and those immediately get held. Nobody ever sees them. So people try to do workarounds, but it just, it makes you look silly. I understand why there are mods. I understand that there are people who just want to, cause confusion and be jerks. But it's kind of part of this whole process. So it doesn't bother me that much. I've got a very thick skin. I know I've said before that I've been doing this for 30, 35 years online. I've been having these kinds of heated discussions. And if ever our conversations have gotten heated, I mean, it's knockdown, drag out, like name calling. I'm going to find you. I'm going to beat you. That kind of thing that I've heard in the past. And you just, it's off a duck's back at a certain point. I've heard it all before. It doesn't bother me.
For the most part, I mean, your channel is huge, bro. 12,000 is amazing, and congratulations.
Thank you.
But for the most part, I think our community is pretty cool. I don't think I don't see people threatening people.
Yeah, I don't think it's people within the community. I think it's people who just jump on for whatever reason and try to say something obnoxious or be vulgar for the sake of, causing confusion or being a jerk and, whatever. It's like, Fish says, in one of the live streams that I was watching, I think it was a Blue Collar Live with Fish on it. He said he has no problem blocking people. He does it all the time, constantly. And I try not to do that. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I've probably blocked, 4 or 5 dozen people who just would not take no for an answer. And it just is part of the process of doing this. You have to get rid of some bad apples every once in a while. I try not to, but you have to.
Do you have any issues on your channel with like the Bitcoin people or the fake bots, that try to pump like Miss what's her name and such and such that just made them $1 million overnight? How do you deal with that?
So, that doesn't seem to happen very often. And I think that YouTube is actually pretty good at screening that stuff out. But probably 4 or 5 times, I'll get done with a live stream and I'll go back to the video that I launched before the live stream. And there'll be, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, there are bots that will put in a series of different comments that look like they're coming from different people, all saying, hey, did you hear about so-and-so? Yeah, I bought so-and-so's project a year ago and I've made $1 gazillion off of it. Really? Who is so-and-so? And it's all electronic. It's all bot-based. There's no reality to any of it. And clearly they're just trying to sell snake oil.
Even the parent comment, like the initial first comment, will make it sound like it watched your video, like, hey, your gold video was absolutely amazing. I totally agree with it. And then they transition it slowly. And if you're like not familiar or not know what's going on,
you'll get a little bit of a pause, like, oh, okay, maybe it's, and then you realize, oh no, this is one of those. It's only happened a few times to me, and you just go through and clean it up. You just delete those comments and block that person. But I think YouTube's pretty good at that. I haven't gotten one of those in probably 3 or 4 months, and it's only happened to be 3 or 4 times all told. So yeah, it's definitely, that kind of thing is constant. It's always out there, but I think YouTube does a pretty good job of trying to chase it down.
Yeah, for sure.
Sober just opened up channel memberships, so
nice.
Check them out.
There you go.
Dub C, you should be opening up channel memberships.
That's not going to happen.
I know. Have you ever even monetized yet or no?
Have I monetized?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm making bushel baskets of money on my channel.
SD Bullion reaching out yet?
What's that?
SD Bullion reaching out yet?
I got commented. I got an email 2 days ago from a relatively well-known. I'm not even sure what you would call them. They're the kind of people that advertise precious metals on kind of late night type TV. A little bit more of a legitimate version of that. It was definitely an organization that I've heard of before.
Lear Capital. I know.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names, but you're on the right track. But so they contacted
Rosalind's
me.
Gone, so
it's definitely not Rosalind, right? So they reached out to me and they said, "Would you consider working with us to help promote the brand in a profit-sharing deal?" And I started to just write back, "LOL. What do you? Why would you even bother contacting me? If you know my channel, which they claim that they did, you would know that I don't do that kind of thing." But I was, I just decided not to actually write them back even. I've been approached probably a dozen times in the last year since about the time that I hit, 8,000, 9,000 subscribers.
They think everybody has a price tag, and how many channels out there probably claim that they don't take money, and they do.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it at all. And if people doubt that I do that too, that's, I insist that people are that kind of skeptical when it comes to my claims that I don't have, people paying me to talk about things. And I will, and I've mentioned it a couple times recently. I've been working with an organization that's within our hobby that I hope to announce in the next 30 days, a new project that we've been working on together But again, I'm not getting paid a single penny for it. I'm just thrilled that it's answering a question that I think needed to be answered. So it's flattering when a real organization, and there are a lot of just, Temu type companies who say, do videos with us and name us in your video and we'll send you X dollars or something like that. I think that's all nonsense and I wouldn't do that anyway. But when somebody is like Bonafide, when they're like legitimate, a company that you can research online or that you've even heard of before, and they ask if you would work with them, that's a flattering thing. But it's not something that I'm interested in doing.
So it's not tempting at all to maybe make a few shekels?
No, I mean, it's like, how much money would they be willing to pay me? Are you going to pay me $5,000? Are you going to pay me $10,000? Even if you offered that kind of money, which would be an enormous amount of money, if you're not, the amount of money we're talking about is probably literally a few $100s. My integrity is worth a little bit more than that, and I'm doing okay. I don't need this kind of revenue. It's why I don't do the tips and chat and the paid memberships to my channel, that kind of stuff. If I wanted to, I could seriously monetize, and I would probably make relatively good money doing that. But then it actually kind of starts to be a job, and I don't want it. Something that I enjoy this much is I don't want to turn that into a side hustle that becomes kind of significant to me. This needs to stay something that I'm passionate about, something that I think of truly as a hobby. And if I shifted out of that mode, it would enter an entirely different realm and I would not enjoy it anymore. And I'm not willing to do that even for $5,000 or $10,000.
Yeah, that's a fair point. On the other hand, you could just be holding out for more money. Like a free agent, you're playing it smart. You're just like, just wait till I get up to 30, 40,000 subs. Then they'll all come clamoring for me.
He did say that 5,000 or 10,000 is not enough. So there is a number there somewhere.
Listen, there's a price. Everybody's got a price.
That's the real estate side coming out of me.
There's always a price. Everybody's got a price.
I'd like to think that there's not a price. I'm doing okay. I'm established well enough right now, and I'm fortunate that I can be in that position. And Lord knows, not everybody is in that position.
That's right.
There are a lot of people who really kind of see this as a way to augment their own precious metals holdings, their own, solidifying their own future. And I'm not going to knock anybody for doing that. If this is really something that's truly important for you and you need to get whatever, a couple $100s a month for doing YouTube videos and having paid memberships and stuff, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But it would have to be such an enormous amount of money that it would make me feel dirty doing it. And then my opinion about your product would already be dampened and nobody would take it seriously. That would lack all authenticity. You guys would know it. Hey, have you heard about the new Coke Zero? It would be so incongruous with my channel that it would just be dumb. So it's just not worth it. I mean, it's an interesting question theoretically, philosophically, but I can't see myself ever doing it.
Well, listen, I'm going to bring something up. I'm going to try not to ruffle any feathers, but World Money wins. The guy's selling loafers and fucking belt buckles now. What the hell's going on with him? Have you seen this?
You build a community and you are passionate about something. If he really wears those loafers and if he really thinks they're the bomb and he wants to kind of spread the news and maybe make a few bucks on the side.
No, but he's got a few shekels. He doesn't need to hawk belt buckles and loafers. Come on.
I'm not going to judge other people. It's a weird thing, but I think there's room for everybody in this community, but that's not why I watch videos about precious metals. So I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit weird.
I kind of agree too. To me, I think, man, it's just more content, spreading more awareness out there. I mean, bless him for doing what he's doing to share and get this information out there to people that may not know about it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It does seem a little bit weird, but it's fine. It's fine.
Hey, can I ask you a kind of a slightly personal question about your stack, Dub?
You absolutely can, but I probably won't answer.
Well, it's not super in depth. What do you see? Like, how do you see your stack? What does it do for you? What purpose does your stack serve? Is it purely just collectorness of it? Is it investment type purpose of it? Is it truly a savings for you?
So that's a really, really good question. It's something that I ask myself constantly. I've been doing it so long that it's honestly just a part of who I am. If you've been doing something like this for as long as I have, when I say that's 30 or 40 years on the beginning of my videos, that's probably conservative. It's probably greater than 40 years. It just gets to be what you are, right? If you've been a hunter since you were a little kid and you're still a hunter today, why do you hunt? Because it's kind of who I am, right? That's part of who I am. So when I think about it in terms of dollars, which is not that often, it is a huge relief for me to see the dollars that I have that are available, come what may, no matter what the emergency, the crisis is that happens in my life. To know that I've got these resources makes me feel really good. So that's ultimately probably what it comes down to. But I make it enjoyable by looking for interesting pieces. So it definitely is a collection and something that I enjoy collecting. It's a deep part of who I am. It's nice to know that I've got it in case I ever need it. And I've talked before in a few videos in the last year about how hard it was to sell some of these pieces when silver hit the $75, $85, and $100 or whatever the range was when I was selling. It was so hard to pry open my hands and take some of this stuff out. You really start to understand just how psychologically, validating it is. This is a part of who my brain is. So all sorts of different ways. I am a stacker. I'm a collector. It's important in terms of a financial foundation, but this is not all of my finances. This is really just a cornerstone. I am deep into equities. I'm into other types of valuable assets. I'm into real estate and everything else that you want to think about. But this is the part that is most fun to me. And it probably has a lot to do with that whole visceral thing of being able to pick up one of these and think about the importance, the significance, the historicity, and everything else that's involved with it.
Do you get into options or future tradings at all? Do you cross over into the physical market, into the paper market? Are you looking into stocks and miners type of situations?
So I have a little bit of ETFs that are based on natural resources, and that would probably be about the closest that I get to it. I don't really trade individual stocks. I've probably got 24, and I've mentioned before that I was lucky to buy PayPal and Google and Amazon when they were still quite young. And I still have those holdings, just like my silver. I don't tend to sell stuff very often, but I don't buy individual stocks very often. I've never been very successful in the few times that I've dabbled in the mining stocks, especially mining stocks of specific companies. ETFs may be a slightly different story. So it's not something that I do. And I certainly appreciate people who do that. If you're dabbling in equities or futures and options on precious metals, it's a different thing to me. And I don't really like to gamble like that. And I have other vehicles that support that side of my portfolio that I would rather stick with than playing, options or futures on precious metals. To me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's amazing, bro. You just gave people so much information in the last 5 minutes. Mind blowing.
I just make it all up. You guys know this, right?
Well, you know what, Dub? That's what's great. You have such a naturalness. It comes from so deep within you. It just flows, bro.
I appreciate that. I always want to be authentic. There's no reason for me to do this. If I'm going to try to put on airs and act like somebody that I'm not. I'm just a guy from the Midwest. I'm literally just a stacker. Like I said, I've been doing this for longer than a lot of people have, but I have no doubts there are people, and I talk with them constantly. There are people within this community whose stacks run circles around mine. And there are people who have been doing this for longer than I have, who has been exposed to other areas within this hobby that I've never really dabbled in. So it would be foolish to kind of act like you're something that you're not. And I probably do that too much to my own, detriment already. But this is so much fun. This is so interesting and exciting to me that I can't imagine trying to do it in an inauthentic way that would rip all of the fun and enjoyment out of this. So what you see is what you get when it comes to Dub C. This is who I am.
Well, I am a big fan of your channel. I love your channel. I love all your guys' channel. I challenge you one day, Dub. Put your information in a book. Get it out there so it's locked down forever.
I might do that. I might try that. I got to take off. I want to thank Blue Collar for having me on. I know I tend to usurp entire channels when I go into a live stream, and I don't mean to. I just talk too much. This is clearly one of my problems. But it
Yeah,
was
but
fun.
Dub, you know something, Dub, but you're giving people information that they may not hear from anybody else. And it's good to be able to sit back and just zip it and let you talk. And we always walk away learning a whole heck of a lot more than we started with.
That's,
So,
it's nice to be in that position, but like I always say to everybody, don't trust everything that I say. Take everything I say with a grain of salt, but at least consider the possibility that the things that I'm talking about are logical and kind of make sense. If it works within your stack, your collection, your portfolio, then it's a wonderful thing to be able to share ideas. And it's one of the reasons why I like listening to everybody that's here in the chat now, everybody who's up on screen. This is something that I enjoy doing too. I don't have as much time to do it as I used to because I was watching a lot of these channels before I launched my own channel. And now that I'm still trying to do my regular 9-to-5 job, which has never been 9 to 5, but I'm also producing content and trying to go live on a regular basis, I have less and less time to do this. So when I'm given an opportunity on a Saturday morning, and I know that Blue Collar and some of my other buds are going to be live, to be able to jump into a live stream, this is a blast. It's always a great time. I better get going, though. I will be around this weekend a little bit longer. My busy season is already in full swing, and I imagine I'm going to be running into all sorts of roadblocks. You guys already heard the phone ring a couple times since I've been live, but I will be around at least a little bit. And if nothing else, I'll be watching you guys while I'm suffering and trying to do stuff. Are we talking about a sale? Blue Collar wants me to sell something. Is that the idea?
somebody
Doug,
asked
before
him
you
about how
leave,
to
you got to give us a radio call out before you go.
You're listening to Dub C on WGLD. Coming up tonight after news, sports, and weather, we're doing the dark wave songs of 1986 with a special emphasis on Depeche Mode.
Yeah, I love it.
Everybody have a great weekend. I'll try to catch you in the stream. Thanks, everyone.
Rio cross the Rio Grande, whatever it is. I don't remember the lyrics. That we needed that song. We had to have a Depeche Mode song. I don't think that was Depeche Mode. I think I got my bands mixed up. But, Blue Collar, are you still there? I think BCS took off. I think it's just me and you, Mishy.
Oop. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, mine just caught up. Yeah, I
You
think
put all
it's
your
really at the
90%
moment.
away.
No, you guys were talking about all the bands earlier. It was kind of funny. My son and I went to Charlotte, North Carolina, Memorial Day weekend for the big.
I think the stream left.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Blue Collar's coming
We
back.
can hear you,
Can you
Blue.
guys even hear me? I don't even know if you
Yeah,
guys
my
are hearing
camera.
me.
I just
You're
got
kind of
my
blurry.
camera just died. I don't know why. I'm trying to get it hooked up now.
Yeah, they were they had a bunch of bands that came in and did like post race concerts and that at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and everything got delayed Saturday, but the concert still went on. And during a stoppage where they red flagged the race, my kid's looking at me. He's like, "Dad, what are you doing?" I may be half deaf, but I can still hear that. 38 Special was playing. And I was all excited about it. I wanted to go see them because I haven't seen them live, in person in years. But I'm sitting there jamming, singing along to the songs. He says, "You can hear that?" I go, "Yeah, they're right outside the stands here." But that's kind of my my older group that I, my ears perk up when they're on.
Mishy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I lost you guys for a second, and then Blue Collar went away. So I'm like, are we still live?
Yeah,
Can you hear me? I know you can't see me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I see your logo.
I think when I don't know if it was when Dub C left or somewhere in between or something like that. I think we lost BCS.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Oh, you hear
Yeah.
BCS?
I just can't see him.
It does that.
Oh,
StreamYard
see, I
is
can't hear
wonky like
BCS.
that.
Yeah, his logo is like right up here. I can hear him. I just can't see him.
Yeah.
You can't hear me, Silver State?
I'm gonna drop a note here.
Okay, he just asked you if you could hear him, and he just like stepped out. Now he's back. Now he's back up there again.
Yeah, I'm trying to go out
there
and
you
come
are.
back in.
Bam! There you
Oh,
are.
you can hear me?
Yep.
Like an old Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? What about now?
Can you hear me now?
No?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we lost you for a second.
Yeah, for whatever reason, my camera, I don't know why. It's trying to
Yeah, you blurred out.
Yeah, it's trying to use my laptop camera, which I have a little sticker over just in case that ever happens. You know? Don't wanna
When
Yeah, I
I
don't
worked
know
at
what- I don't know
Chrysler,
what's
they called
going
those
on.
no stickers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I'm just gonna shut my camera off for now. And you can look at my pretty logo. Which by the way was designed by LBS.
Yeah, that one
That's
right
awesome too. I love that logo.
Giving
So do I.
LBS full credit on that one. So yeah, Dub C was awesome. Always is. I tried my microphone and my camera shut down at the same time. Tried to say goodbye to him. I'll email him and thank him. I don't think anybody heard me thanking him.
No, we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I don't know why, but is what it is.
That's awesome. He's awesome, bro. It's always good to have him popped in.
I'm gonna just try and fiddle with this camera. Give me a second.
Well, here while you're fiddling with your camera, I'm gonna put a plug in for your wife's handiwork.
Oh yeah.
I shop on Whatnot quite a bit, and I have kind of have an addiction to like collectible copper. And I ordered, I bought some stuff from them on Whatnot, and the surprise was in my box when it came. She's doing custom rounds, and there's the logo I use now, and then there's my old Mishy Mish.
That's
the other
awesome, Mishi.
And you know
Wow.
the thing is, and I'll say this on here too. I know we were talking before we went live. Been dealing with some medical issues, and I was just having a totally crap week. And this literally just a little 1 ounce piece of copper, which would probably seem insignificant and maybe stupid to some, totally made my week. So, and she'll pretty much anything you send her the picture of what you want on it, she'll do it for you. She's really kicking them out. She's doing a lot of cool stuff. So,
Average Jane.
yes.
Yeah, she's probably listening and she's probably crying right now.
No, that's like I even said in my live, if I ever get face to face with you two, you're both getting a huge hug from me. So,
Well, hell, that's enough reason to go to Michigan. If I could think of any other reason, that's enough reason
I
for
don't
me.
know if you guys want to come up here right now. We're getting round 2 of the Canadian
Fire
wildfire smoke.
Yeah.
I literally, was it last week? Walked outside and I told a bunch of people, I said it was like breathing underwater and it tasted like plastic. So it smelled like somebody said it smelled like burned vanilla.
Oh, it sounds nasty.
It was. I mean, my son's mom and a friend of hers were up in the UP, so they were even closer to it than we were. They ended up coming home early, and neither one of them had breathing problems. But they're like, no, we don't smoke. We don't smoke. We don't want to get we don't want to get cancer from the air. And usually the UP is where you go to get fresh air. So. But I mean, the pictures they took, everything had a yellow tinge to it, and like in GSF, he's kind of up there too, where he's at, and Cat said it smelled like burning maple leaves. Yeah, it just ugh. But it looked like a really bad fog storm that wouldn't go away. So. And I hear we're supposed to be getting round 2 here, but they're saying that's coming from Minnesota and Washington, not Canada. So we'll see.
So Pang says custom copper rounds. Nice. We all know Pang loves his copper rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The kind you fire, that is.
Yeah, those two.
Those are copper freedom rounds.
Freedom
Seeds.
seeds.
Freedom seeds.
Yeah, there's another one I picked up too.
Oh, the chameleon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that one.
she's doing a phenomenal job on these. I think they're great. So.
Yeah, that thing. She's got that thing humming day and night.
Oh yeah. Oh heck, even during auctions here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, during the yes, I know.
That's what the sound of progress.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, she's doing great.
Yeah.
What we've been doing is we've been taking some of the older, more, used up designs and making them customized,
Yeah.
which has been working out pretty good.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff on there. So
Yeah, we did a Bigfoot one
yep.
out of the Yeti. Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah,
stupid things
was
like
cool.
that. But yeah. But Kalilo, to answer your question, how did the sale go? It's been going pretty well. She's on like 2 nights a week. And doing pretty good, man. She kicks ass. I don't
That's
really
right.
usually get involved that much. The old
Didn't
tiger.
in the initial thing that was like you were like the hardcore salesman trying to go on, get the whatnot going, and now your wife, she's totally taking it over. It's like her thing, right?
Well, when we were doing games, I was in there trying to sell spins. Yeah. I don't know, man. She's got a different philosophy than I do. I want to just do like a silver show once a week. I don't really want to get involved with the copper too much. I mean, I like it. It's cool and everything, but it's her baby.
But
And,
didn't you say that the copper sells like, I mean, you can't keep it in. It just sells like crazy.
well, it's slowed down quite a bit. Quite a
Okay.
bit. But that being said, it's still selling. I mean,
Mhm.
not like it was 6 months ago, but I think
This was another perfect one. She was worried about the ear. And I was like, you know what? My cat has that same facial expression and kicks that same ear back when he's
Yep.
giving you that really dude kind of look. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, my cat does the same thing. I'm good with it.
That
yeah,
is-
that's a poured copper piece, and
Yes.
she was able to get the printer to follow the contour of it.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And here's a poured bar with the dragon on it.
What is something like that? What does she sell something like that for? I mean, because I feel like
To
that
be
should,
honest, I don't even know.
I
I
can't
feel like that should
remember
be
what-
like I don't know. I feel like people would pay $50-$75 for that copper tiger.
No, dude.
Bro, it's
No.
beautiful. It's art. It's not even copper. That thing is like beautiful.
Well,
Oh, that's like she even
thank
started.
you, but no.
She even colorized some of the, because Scottsdale's doing the copper stackers now too. She's even colorizing the lion on the stackers.
Yeah. And we sold some of those at the fun show.
Come on.
We gave OJ like 6 of them, and he sold them in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he
People
did.
buy, they're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, he did, because she's the only one doing that, and that's freaking cool.
Well,
And
for now.
here's one. Again, make sure we got Thoughts of Vegas on the live. That's because I don't think he's ever done a poker chip or anything. So
So sick.
yeah.
And the relief on it, you can see that it has it's not flat.
Yeah,
that's
the printing has relief. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, listen, guys, my camera died. It's over 2 hours. I'm thinking we should wrap it up. I got some stuff to do. Probably run down to the coin shop and say hello to OJ and the boys. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thanks for the jewels and all the support. Really, Dub C was awesome. Kansas Kid. But thank you, Silver State. Thank you, Mishi. Appreciate
Thanks
you
for
both.
having us.
Yeah, man. It was great.
We would call out one more time. We got Silver
Yeah.
Serpents, Kalilo. What's going on, man? Who's that? Gold Snipping Farmers in here. Cartier, Silverado, Argent Arrow. What's going on? Catcom in the house. We got. I did see Stack That Gold popped in. He said hi. Matt Winge, Peng Silver, Peng Stockpiles. The Space Miners in here. I think that covers everybody recently that's in now.
Yeah, I wish I could figure out how to do a raid, but I don't know if anybody's even on. Let me see if I can figure it out real quick.
I can tell you who's on right now. Let's see.
Shit, I don't even know how to do it on here. You got to do it from YouTube, I think.
You got to do it from YouTube. I think you do. Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah.
Except they're doing the StreamYard thing. I don't know
Yep.
how International does it because you know he's doing StreamYard or something. But yeah, I don't see. I mean, there are people on, but not really our people that I have that I'm subscribed to. I don't see anybody on, anyways.
Oh, okay. So Gold Sniping Farmer says go to studio. Okay, go to studio. I'm going to follow your instructions. Hold on. All right, I'm in studio. Oh, wait, I can't look at that. Oh, I can follow here. Okay. Go in here. Go to studio. Okay, come on, come on. How do you do it? Settings. Hell, I can't figure it out. All right. Well, anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate everybody coming in. Thank you, Mishi. Thank you, Silver State. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you Monday night.
You guys rock.
Take care, everyone.